right? I don't have to like you. I don't have to agree with you. But if you move the needle in business, you got a home here.
Everybody can be helped. Be more open. Go on these shows. Put yourself out there.
I'm a businessman. I'm going to build businesses, execute, strategize, and that's it. I'm not anything more than that you want from me. You're not getting. Welcome back to Exit Rich. I'm sitting here with Jay Doran, a friend of mine from Culture Matters. He works with industries like construction, contractors, home improvement, roofing, HVAC companies, things like that. Also works with software. There's a few other industries you work with too, Jay.
Mortgage banking.
And he actually helps companies build their teams on culture and making sure that you're getting the culture that you want inside your organization to help you scale and grow. Is that correct?
Yes, that's a great way of putting it.
All right, so Jay, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody? And I appreciate you coming in all the way from Florida. Known you a long time now, so thank you for coming in, my friend.
Thank you. I remember the first time that we met, you gave me the opportunity to come to your office at the time, this amazing culture, sales force, energy. It was magnetic to come in and interview you actually, 8 years ago in Pennsylvania. So this is a great honor at one SEO, that you started and sold. So congratulations, everything that you've accomplished. And I am a student of culture. I am a culture advisor, consultant by trade, training by experience, mentors, advisors myself, and doing it for 12 years. And I want to thank you for...
You actually have a
Culture Matters. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have a company.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What does your company do?
Yeah, we work with founders and CEOs. And a big part of that is the founder's journey to the executive presence. What is the idea of a CEO? Not all CEOs are founders.
Roll the chair here. We need someone that's sort of fourth grade level. Get in here, Jen.
Consulting means that there's going to be someone that is let's say a third party lens. As one of my mentors taught me, companies can choke on their own exhaust. So having a third party lens that's going to actually come in, not tell you what to do and what to think, but observe, listen, interview people, ask questions, figure out the nuances. What's the glue? What's really happening? The founder of management, Peter Drucker, he said, culture eats strategy for lunch. What he meant by that was, this is a famous guy, culture eats strategy for lunch. What he meant was, you could have all the good ideas, all the big ideas, all the strategies, but culture means what's actually the outcome. What's the output? What's actually happening? What are the people doing? Are they motivated? Are they inspired? Are they responsible? Are they getting it done? We live in that world.
Because money doesn't...
We live in that world.
People.
It actually demotivates people. Actually, psychologically.
I don't think money motivates most people because, I actually did a chat GPT because, and I just wanted to see what percent you'd be in if you made $1 million a year. What percent would you be in if you make, and I just started doing the percentages. I'm like, money can't motivate people because the numbers of these people are so low. It's just so low, right? And, and that's where culture does matter. Now, I don't think, and I'll be very transparent, Jay. This is where me and you disagree.
Sure.
Not disagree, I don't use that word, but I'm not a rah-rah guy. I believe where people throw culture around after being at Google and these other places, a lot of it's horseshit, right? Like pool tables, ping pong tables, the free lunches. That doesn't build culture. That, in my opinion.
We're in agreement. That actually, that type of social engineering is often happening because the company's missing a story. They're missing leadership. They're missing the talent. They may not even have the goal to let go of the people that have been loyal, that they need to replace, or they may not be sure of what to do next or who to bring in. The trust might be low. I see it all the time. No. With the pizza bags or pizza parties rather, and the bean bags, when they happen organically, when the people are doing it, because the people actually have relationships with one another and the people actually get together because there's trust, that could be a sign that there's whoa, there's something happening in this movement, in this idea. So it comes later. So no, I agree with that. That actually is not the way to go at it whatsoever.
First of all, nice watch. Was that a Rolex?
This is a 1983 presidential. My wife bought me Warren Buffett's watch.
Was she born in 1983?
She is my coach. She knows what I
see this watch. Let's see this.
What I need to.
Guys walking in here with presidential.
Yeah, it's a very expensive watch. It's Sounds.
You think, look at this piece. This guy just coming here rocking Rolexes, baby. I'm a watch guy too. I like watch.
I want to be clear. I'm a first generation. None of my parents owned a home. We bought a home together last March. So
Beautiful house in Naples. I remember I was so happy for you when you sent me that.
I just don't want to, my wife picked out this shirt. It seems nice for this. I don't come from means or anything of that nature, but I did have great mentors, great role models growing up, a loving family, and a desire to learn and try. So this is her doing this. I actually sold my first watch that I bought. It was a tag. I sold it to pay my rent in the beginning of Culture Matters because I couldn't pay my rent. I sold it on consignment. It took me a year to buy it back from the person that I sold it to. So I'm not like a watch person. I wouldn't have,
Let's talk about that.
I don't consider.
You started your own company.
Yeah.
How many employees would you say you have working with you guys now at Culture Matters?
Well, actually, so we try to keep it small. Okay. So think of it like this, because we're in consulting, 5 people, because we're in the influence business, we could have 5 people, not counting our vendors and associates, influence organizations with 300 people, so it's a very lean team. I actually believe in keeping money, not just expensing it. Like it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And then I'm a big fan of like investing and what to do with capital. So I'm a big student of that. But we are, I would say still a startup in the sense that I've been at this 12 years. The company's existed in 2016. The idea came about when I was the co-founder of a brand called Fusion Gyms, and I was running our team meetings in that startup at the time that I had been participated in.
How Fusion Gym, is that a big company now, or?
It still exists, which I'm so proud of it. Proud that it exists. I would say that. Big enough to mention it, to drop it. I would say also a visionary, great founder.
Is that a photo?
It's a local, it's a local business. Anyone could look it up. I gotta start the world's largest gym. Yeah, I it's like the world's largest gym now. I don't take credit.
Is it really the world's largest gym?
From a side
Are you like Planet Fitness?
No, I meant like physical locations. They're pretty
okay.
magnanimous. I'm sorry, I should edit or clarify that.
All good.
But that's where the idea started for me, was that the core values meant something to our team when I was inspired to write them down, essentially, like what we stood for, why it was relevant, how did it relate to the team. And it was in those team meetings. It was serious. It was in the team meetings. And I can't take all the credit. At the time, my partner, I saw him as a mentor. He was like, "You're the one that should run."
So you have a partner in Culture Matters.
Well, my wife's sitting behind you, so spiritually, yeah, I mean, she would take more than half.
What does that mean spiritually?
Well, soulmate, right? You're mated by souls, meaning like I started the company.
What are you
she didn't.
talking about?
Spiritually, like,
is she your business partner or not?
From a LLC standpoint, no, but the fact that we're married.
She's shaking her head no.
Yeah. Well, I would say that her feedback is valuable from a spiritual, psychological sense. So you
talk to your wife about business?
Well, she works for and with the company.
So you're involved in the company.
That's why the miscommunication, the misunderstanding. Okay. Yeah. She left her corporate career to participate and help, and really, she had tremendous. She's a tremendous leader. She's brilliant.
So she's the driver of the business.
In many ways, oh man, in many ways. I focus on.
Believe it. I'm looking at her body language. And
yeah. We're an unbelievable team. I would say, unbelievable, and I give her most of the credit. Yes.
So Jenna, what do you do at the company? Come on, Jenna, get here. Don't be shy. Jenna, pull a chair up. Let's go. Get here, Jenna.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that's very honoring.
Get in here.
3 mics for a reason.
Grab the mic.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm trying to get the perspective of, because I understand what Jay does overall, but I think Jay's not, I think he's over sophisticating it, because I know a few of the companies that love Jay that uses them.
Thanks.
Brad being one, a few other people, right? Like,
thanks.
So I can give you an endorsement. I don't think you're doing a good job at doing your own endorsement here, your own pitch, your elevator pitch, right? Like, give us the elevator pitch. What do you guys do at Culture Matter, Jenna?
Well, we work with companies on their culture, establishing their core values, establishing their mission, vision, goal, belief, purpose.
Damn, she has the elevator pitch down pat. That's what I'm talking about right there.
It's founder to founder. So Jay works directly with the founder and CEO, and he really develops them into a true CEO. A lot of founders don't know what that means. A lot of founders go into business and
I agree with you on that.
And they're like, oh, what do I'm just the owner. I just call the shots. And they don't realize that they have systems and processes and team building to do. And that's not just ping pong and pizzas. It's really just building out what it means, how to do it, where to find the issues, where to problem solve. And Jay does discovery very strongly behind the scenes and in the scenes, meets with the people, learns what they're doing.
You get people thinking outside the box, it seems like, Jay, with the way you talk, because even when we have conversations, you make me think.
Thanks.
Like you do. Like, I think that's a hard thing it's hard to make me think. I don't use that word, but you make me think about and question things. I don't think a lot of people are getting questioned. Is that really what your specialty is? I don't imagine you're the one running the business today. I think you're running the business. Is that correct, Jenna? Does it seem that way?
We run the business together. There's a lot of...
Fair way of saying I run the business.
There's a lot of operational flows that need to stay intact. And then there's sales. And then there's communication with the clients that I can't do that only Jay can do. There's a specific niche that Jay goes in with analysis, with problem solving, with making you think differently.
That I can see.
And that's not my niche. I'm a what are we doing today for tomorrow type of leader, type of problem solver. And Jay is 17 steps ahead, 100 years ahead. What's the legacy? What's the exit look like? What can we do to help you do X, Y, or Z? Whether it's raise money, figure out a team, figure out who is going to replace you. Do you have a succession plan? Do you have children that you want to help you run your business? Do we need to start having family meetings? Do we need to start doing things that are specific to what you need as a CEO? And I'm just kind of like, what are we doing today so that we can fix it for tomorrow?
I'm going to assume, and just correct me if I'm wrong, you guys come in, because I got to imagine the majority of people at first when you come in, I gotta imagine you gotta interview people, questions, talk to the employees, correct?
That's part of the analysis that Jay does for sure.
So there's a little bit of nervousness there. It has to be, right? Like, why are these people interviewing me? But I gotta assume once they get with you, that they open up, they're telling you things that they would never say to the owner, never say to their managers. I mean,
can I speak to this?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I asked. I'm just gotta imagine you have some of the shit you must hear.
Absolutely. And with that comes in tremendous responsibility and core values, like as a professional firm, a degree of confidence and confidentiality and professionalism that I would argue is hard to come by, but that's really where the trade is met, as well as capabilities, certain skill sets that have to be honed, which is why, for example, I did 540 interviews in 2024 on the Culture Matters podcast. Thanks for coming on. I'm building skill sets, soft skills that actually they bend space and time. They make things faster. You can connect the dots. And of course, if you're coming from a standpoint of empathy and compassion and humanity, having a conversation with someone, and integrity, then that information becomes, how can we make things better? Not, anything dark or bad for the culture. So there's a tremendous amount of responsibilities.
These people come and tell you some messed up shit.
Even if they don't, I'm able to do research. I have a certain part of, I think, one of the diminishing returns of the gift that I have is a lack of brevity and being able to talk clearly. But there's so much happening in my head and through me. I could figure out everything kind of like a computer of people very quickly.
The amount of predictions that Jay has made in the companies that we work with that have been true have saved companies millions and millions of dollars, one, and two, kept some of them alive. So like he hears what's unsaid. He listens to what the person is saying, but he also hears what's unsaid. And then he's able to gather that intel, matriculate that with the CEO and with the founder and say, hey, here's where the problems are.
It's funny you say that because you don't even remember this. I'm not going to say anyone's name here, but we did a podcast together, me, him, and someone else. It was in my office about a year ago. And we went back and looked at me and Erie, and you said something profound. You told the person to watch what he does in like 2 settings. And you just like, we're talking about IQ.
I remember, yeah.
And this guy wound up getting blown up on social media. I'm not going to mention names, but it was funny because you're like, wow, holy shit. He kind of saw what was happening without even happening yet.
Well, that person was in a state of
and I'm friends with that guy. Like, I think he's a nice.
Well, this happens to people. So this has happened to me in the past.
So I'm not going to blast the guy or say I never really like podcasts. Because I didn't want.
Well, that was respectful of you. That says something of your character. He could have just released it and used it as clickbait.
Nah, that's not.
Why not?
Well, because everything I do is positive. I don't do anything negative. I don't need clickbait.
So that's one of your core values.
I don't need clickbaits. I told my son the other day, he showed me his Instagram and said, look at my views, Dad, look at my views. And I laughed. And I said, son, don't ever look at your views. And I said, what? And he said, why? I said, because if you want to see the circus, go to the social media. I said, he goes, with Dad, you're always on it. I said, my team always has me on social media for building my brand, building everything. And he said, can I see how many views you got? And my views just that month, just on Instagram, were like 9 million. He's like, holy shit, you got 9 million views just on Instagram. I'm like, yeah, son. I'm like, but I don't even care, but I don't even look at it. I don't even think you guys look at it anymore, do you?
What do you mean?
Our views, our Instagram, how many views we're getting on stuff.
Check on certain
He does.
when we try out different stuff, we see how it is.
Okay, I didn't know. So like that shows you how I even look at any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe, like I would never do anything with clickbait to answer your question directly. Everything I do is who I am. I'm not a rah-rah guy. You know me. I'm not a jumping fucking pom-poms guy. I'm a businessman. I'm going to build businesses, execute, strategize, and that's it. I'm not anything more than that you want from me, you're not getting.
Well, by doing that, with what's unsaid, you're modeling core values, even if they're not spoken. Part of our job is to actually figure out what those values are if they were written down, and what do they mean, and how can that be leveraged through rituals, through gatherings, so that, example, you were the youngest award winner of while you were with a company, the Yellow Pages. You were the youngest person.
You won the Eagle Award. Mm-hmm.
You won that award. Okay. So the youngest, based on your actions, how you showed up for the customers, the company, the example you set, that company had people behind the scenes like us to figure out how to incentivize through recognition and symbolically represent the hero that you were to them in that context. The value of that could lead to a 10 to 100x return on their business. The value of that, you can't see it, but later when you're selling the company, it's difference between 6 times EBITDA and 9 times EBITDA. Those variables pay off. And so you exemplified, I've prepared, even though we know each other 8 years, I still prepared before the show, doing research, reminding myself of certain things. I'm smart in spots. I don't have a perfect memory, but yeah, based on your history, what you've accomplished in your career, up to 157 million in growth, you were recognized with certain accolades. And what that does is, culture-wise, it signals to everyone there in that gathering what we value, who gets credit, who doesn't. It creates accountability, because accountability is a symptom. It's not a push. It's a lagging thing. It happens after it. So all of those variables, those nuances, I look at them as puzzles. I get excited about them. That's where I like to live.
That award's almost 20 years old, dude. It's only 20 years old. You got to go back.
It's still impacting you to this day.
Who, me? Nah.
I mean, in your body. It's like in your body, in a good way. Like, meaning you are this, the embodiment of these things.
I call it
a compliment.
I hold myself to a standard. Like, no one's going to rattle me from what I believe. Like, my standards. Like, and I think probably most of the CEOs that you work with and leaders are probably very similar to me, I'm assuming, where they just have their standard and are not breaking their standard for anyone. Doesn't mean I won't bend, negotiate. Doesn't mean I won't give you a helping hand. But there's just certain standards that we're going to live to every day. And if you can't live those standards, you can't be here. I'm assuming that's more that you're dealing with than not.
Well, what that will do is, in the absence of borders, values can break down. There's always going to be conflict. There's always going to be disagreement and different ways of looking at things.
I agree.
That's inevitable.
Yep.
The question becomes, how do we actually have the conversations? How do we address the problems? And are we doing it together as a team, or are we doing it in silos, and how is it breaking down? So a part of what can create the certainty necessary to move forward, to have courage, to call the customer, to show up for work, is that order. Like, for example, so what you just said about, I have my beliefs. What that does for me, if I work for you, is I know who I'm working for.
100%.
That is it's like, right, you wake up at the same time every day, your circadian rhythms are in check. you can go out in the world and show people who you are. So it's a very powerful, it's one of the things I've always liked about you, and that led to friendship, is how consistent you are in that. The question now becomes, if we're going to scale, here's something practical for the listeners. If this is the founder, leader, the leader of leaders of the culture, if that is so a part of who you are, well, if we're going to be, let's say, helping smaller businesses become bigger businesses and have liquidity events, it would be good to attract those that share that value based on their childhood, their education, their upbringing, so that you'll work with them at the highest level possible.
That's a big piece of our partnership qualification, as you know. Like, I look for grit, I look for will, I look for people that are married. You know, a guy said that Alex the other day, I don't want to come to a mastermind because I'm not married. Lance won't partner with me. I'm like, wait a minute. Just because I won't partner with you doesn't mean you shouldn't invest in yourself to, you know, build your own business. Like, we might partner with 1 out of 500 people that reach out, nearly, if that, right? Like, it's a constant flow here, man. Like, it's not us being rude to people. You can't partner with everyone. You have to partner with the right people. So, like, yes, our partnership qualifications, Jay, are very, we're not consultants, right? Like, I'm not a consultant. We're in the day-to-day grind with our people. So you need the right people, have the same work ethic, great determination. Know there's going to be a lot of speed bumps, a lot of hell. You know, I just said to the guy the other day, I said, your actions don't match what you want. And you see that all the time. People say they want that liquidity event. People say they want to get to be a multimillionaire, but your actions don't match it. They got to go hand in hand.
Well, and there's an opportunity here, because it doesn't have to just be either or. A big part of acquiring, and in this case, let's say matchmaking, because you're in a talent selection business and a matchmaking business.
100%.
And you also operate in a, let's say, in a very, I don't want to use the wrong words here.
So spit it out. I say anything, you say anything.
I'll say patriarchal, in the sense of fatherly. There's an order, a necessary order that can really change the lives of those that partner with you. They may need that person, like, truly in their whole life, to be alongside them for, like, you'll just change their entire life when they get close to you and they partner with you. That's already happening. I'm sure that they
would say I changed their life, but I walk the walk of who I am.
Where I'm going with that is, culture is about integration. It's aligning the people, the process, and the culture in the face of change. And so when you're talking about a change of now ownership, 100%. They're a part of your greater culture, a change of a potential, okay, there's going to be a buyer at some point. What are their values and how are they coming in, and how is that next season looking? Because that's going to pay off long-term for everybody in a great way. So it's the culture piece is about the integration of the people, the systems, the culture in the face of change.
Do you guys get into the systems and processes too, or no? Not really.
Big time.
Big time. Explain that part, because I understand the culture piece. Can you explain why you get into systems and processes? Either one of you jump in. Jenna, you seem to know. Yeah, flip it.
Please. Yeah. That would be nice.
I mean, systems and processes are everything. It doesn't, if you don't have that for your, business, you have nothing. And if somebody gets hit by a bus tomorrow and she's been with the company or he's been with the company for 100 years and nothing happens without them, but nobody knows how to do what they do, then you're basically like, completely going downhill, because what happens when you don't know what they do and they're the perfect person? So SOPs and systems and processes and building those out, also having like a Bible for
you guys help do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's.
But I want to be. This is actually really exciting.
Everyone needs it.
Part of the reason
she did crush it.
Oh, she's amazing.
I'm gonna wait this mic drop and walk away there, Jay.
Well, I want to. Well, I guess. Yeah, no. That's fair.
I'm just saying. What do you add that?
I'm not adding anything. No, but out of insecurity, I was going to say something that had nothing to do with it.
I will say that you can have systems and processes that are clear and that are concise and that are up to the standard of the CEO. If you don't understand what your core values are, if you don't understand why you're here, if you don't understand that everybody believes in the same thing and that is, marching to the same drum, but, with their own opinions and with their own, feedback, and that has to happen first.
Here's a question for you, right? Because the world's changing fast, right? Jay, I think you're about 10 years younger than me, correct? Oh, you're 41?
I am 34 years old.
20 fucking years younger. My son's your age.
You look great.
Okay. Oh, Jesus, thank you. Janice, how old are you, Jenna?
38.
Okay. Oh, got yourself a little young buck here.
That's right.
Yeah, she's helped me really grow into the man that I am.
You've
Yeah.
grown yourself into the man.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Service Titan and Rilla, our technology of choice to helping us scale and grow our business and making sure all of our viewers have the technology to scale their business so when they want to sell it, they're able to.
I haven't done that.
Well, it's a good.
Here's a question for you, because the world's changing, you know, just as a 51-year-old man with culture, you know, I've owned multiple different companies. I've seen now where it's, I want recess time, to different looks of quality of life, to I got to be acceptant of everyone, whether I agree with it, if it's against my religious beliefs. Meaning, transgender was a mental illness 10 years ago. Now it's this is supposed to be normal. I'm supposed to accept it. I think, tell me how all this stuff, that you're seeing in the world today, because temperatures are rising. There's a big divide, right, among a lot of people. How is that affecting culture? Like somebody might say, Lance, I want you to put a accumulator box in your place of work.
There's
How's that much space for accumulator box in?
As a private business, there's, as long as things are within generally within the law and regulation, and there's
Are you seeing more of this stuff, or now is it all bullshit?
I think that will continue. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. I think that it's hard to stop. Yeah, that's too hard of a question, I think, for me to give without coming across I'm now going to the waters, I think, that aren't I don't know the answer to that.
That's interesting. But are you seeing more of it in the workplace or less of it? Jenna, you're saying no.
I'm not seeing that.
So it's more of a school thing, because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have it in any of my companies now. At one SEO, I definitely had that.
It's possible that the people that are looking to work with us in the capacity that they're looking to work with us just don't have that, change in
dynamic, demographic.
Exactly.
But
it could happen. I mean, it's definitely a thing. It's all over the world.
As a person that owns let me speak to this. This is important. Whoever's listening, you have your own business. You get to do what you want. There just will be consequences. So
explain that.
Yeah, like if there are some business owners that part of what even drives them is to be in a lawsuit all the time. That's actually like a component of how they actually stay edgy and hard. Like, I mean that in almost every sense of the word.
You mean it?
Yeah. So this is really an amor fati, love of one's fate, or a personal decision for how somebody wants to run a company. Once you become, let's say you're dealing with other greater third parties, public entities, the psychological control starts to wane and become. I had a great conversation, a debate with the real Bradley on the Dropping Bond podcast. Yeah, about control.
Tell me that guy's
he's wonderful. Yeah, it's smooth, smart, creative, caring, really wonderful person. And but
I'm Bradley. I'm smooth.
Very.
He did well when he was younger. I can tell you that. With the 80s.
Almost too well, yeah.
Yes, almost too well.
Yeah.
Okay,
there are consequences.
But here's a question to you. I know you're going to answer the question, but do you think people should even give a shit? Like I said this in my last leadership meeting. I had all my leaders together, all my partners together. I said, I can accept anyone that moves the needle, right? I don't have to like you. I don't have to agree with you. But if you move the needle in business, you got a home here. You have all my same background, everything, but you don't move the needle, you got to get the fuck out.
Yeah, I want to highlight you for a second, because I think someone that may not follow you might take even your question or what you said earlier as you're not an inclusive person, but I've spent time with you personally. You're very inclusive. You care about people. You base them on merit more so.
I care less what your preferences.
That's who you are.
If you can move the needle and help me build a company, and you want a fucking kitty litter box in the bathroom, I'll put the biggest kitty litter box.
That being said,
I want you to move the needle.
Would be something I could speak on.
I want to win.
Helpful. That being said, someone of your, let's say, background, experiences, educations later in life, how you built your wealth and so on. The idea of someone telling you what to do, the idea
That's
of
not gonna
some
happen.
kind of imposing,
Yeah, that's not
means with more of a, I don't like this feeling, let me get away.
No one's going to tell me what to do, but I can tell you this. I'm not no one's coming in and telling me what to do at this point in my life. You know, I got to where I am where I don't have to work ever again. My kids don't. I'm not, they're not going to tell me what to do. But I also don't really care what you do. As long as you're not touching a kid, touching a woman, we're pretty good. We're in good shape here, man. If you're not doing drugs, stealing, I asked that question because I figured you had to see everything with who you guys deal with when you go into companies.
A big part of my...
I was kind of curious of what other people are doing because for me here at LB Capital, I can tell you right now, I don't care. We want everyone that can move the needle. I don't care what your sexual orientation is, what your background is, what your religion is, what color you are. I don't give a shit. I just want winners. And I think it's hard to find winners. Huh?
I said amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the world, accelerating change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. Those are the 3 C's of business. I think Peter Drucker, the founder of management, said that things are always going to change. And the question is, how up to speed are we on them? And how strong is our team? And what are essentially the values of success, the core values of success within that organization? And each one is going to have a little bit of a different flavor. But what's valuable is figuring out and being clear. What is that constitution? What is the story? I break it down into the culture puzzle, okay? There's 5 parts. What's the story, past and future? Where have we come from? Where are we going? How clear is that? Is it clear? And it likely is not. But if it is, it can be very powerful. What's the language? So, okay, right now, there are values that you represent and how you behave. The question is, where are they? Are they written? Are they clear? Can they be adopted? Can they be trained and learned from? That's another thing. Rituals. Are we meeting? How do we meet? When do we meet? What does that look like? How do we improve those? How do we recognize? How do we penalize? Those things matter. Are we creating pride and upward mobility of self, or are we manifesting shame and repression and groupthink? Symbolism. What does LFG grow mean? What's the lion mean to me? There's so many things that a lion means to me, but I want to know what it means to Lance. I want a story. I want a meaning. I want that symbol to be, it's so clear that, a lion represents exiting rich, that I'm wearing them on my shirts everywhere I go, and I've got 100 people. So there's this symbolic component to the puzzle. And of course, the hero. Every person that works for a company is a hero of their life. It's actually a statistic that each employee impacts at least 4 people. So you have 1,000 employees, 4,000 people, in community.
Absolutely.
And that ripple effect.
Absolutely.
Each person that works for Lance is on a hero's journey. Each business that sells, or let's say partners to have a liquidity event, is on a hero's journey with you and your culture. And that one hero is going to impact all of those heroes that work for them, that sends that ripple effect through time. So the question is, what's the hero's journey look like? Where's the struggle? What's the vision? What stories are driving the organization? How do we meet? What's the education experience level? Who are the mentors? Who are the mentees? What peer groups are they a part of? It all matters. Culture matters. That's my commercial.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Exit Rich podcast, the podcast that will be live from the Roofing Process Conference. Tickets went fast last year, and they are already on pace to sell out. Get your tickets before it's too late. This guy just dropping bombs over here, this guy. Next question for you. What's next for you guys? What's next for you guys? Have a baby? You guys just got married, right? You got married, right?
Love you. Oh yeah, we are married.
Yeah, you guys got married.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
exciting.
Congratulations. I would have told him to do it. I would have told you not to do it. You seem like you're very normal and nice and beautiful.
Oh, thank you. He's normal nice.
Oh my God. So
Complicated.
you guys got married. Your house is beautiful out in Naples.
Thank you.
And it's, what's next for you two? You guys gonna have a baby?
I think after a vacation, we'll know the answer to that. That's the first thing that comes to mind without any
So
filter.
are you gonna have a vacation soon?
Well, I took my first day off in 7 years, 5 Saturdays ago, because I was burnt.
So you might be 5 weeks pregnant is what he's trying to say.
No, if this is yeah,
You're stumbling.
I struggle. Oh well, this goes back to what drove me to. I believe part of why I'm helpful with the company culture is because of my own autobiography, where I come from, and it does tie into
Where do you come from, Rufus? And we'll get her getting pregnant in a minute.
Yeah, it's tied to it because there's this great fear of like, oh, can I be the dad that I didn't have?
Yeah.
And so that's definitely a something that we have to work out together more than on a podcast.
How you
so
give some friendly advice?
I always respect your opinion.
I was scared shitless to become a father, and someone gave me advice, and I never forget the advice. I don't talk to the person anymore at all, but I never forget the advice. The best, most powerful advice he ever said to me is, your kids don't care what you give them material-wise. Your kids don't care where they live. All your kids want is your time. That was the most powerful advice. If you think about it, we care about where we live. We care about the material things. Your kids do not care about any. I'll tell you now, my children do not care. My children want time.
I think time is Jay's most important thing. So
It's everybody's most important thing. That's all you need to give, Jay. You're going to be a great father.
Thanks. That's great.
it's really good advice.
There's nothing else to give.
So to answer your question, I am responsible for our customers.
No. Background. Let's go there. I don't care. Listen, we don't culture master this for. What's your background? How'd you grow up?
With a very beautiful, loving family. My mother, who's episode 2.
Were you rich?
No, sir. However, I had the blessing of being around success.
You were adopted, correct?
Yes, 5 days. Barbara took me in. She's on episode 242 of the Culture Matters podcast. If anybody's interested, Barbara took me in, and I was her first foster child. I found out she wanted a teenager at first, and then she ended up getting this baby. And then one weekend, all right, I'll take him for a weekend, and then that became a week, and then that became like this blessing of
how long you were with Barbara?
Being raised, well, ever since I could remember. Yeah, but also to answer your question,
so Barbara raised you from the time you were 5 days old to adult. Do you call her mom? Yes, you do.
Oh yeah, of course. But I had 2 mothers. Linda, my biological mother, was also
When did you meet Linda?
Part of. Oh, I was with her from the first 20 hours or so. I don't have a full picture of it, but we had a very close bond and relationship. And
but how do you live with Barbara but have a relationship with Linda, your real mom?
A blessing. I mean, there in the sense that so Linda. I mean, yeah, this might help somebody out there, honestly. Linda was a nurse. She left home at probably early teens. Her father wasn't in a good
Linda's
spot.
your biological mother.
She was a biological mother. She started drinking, as far as I understand the paperwork, at 12, and drugs early on, but she really got it together and became a careerist and actually was helping people as a nurse. And however, a car accident or something triggered a schizophrenic event, and ultimately I was taken from her based on this is like based on the paperwork, right? I haven't talked to her about this yet. If you're out there, but
so you never spoke to your biological mother ever about this?
I haven't seen her since I was probably 5. Yeah.
So she didn't raise you?
More like an advisor. Yeah, she would come in every once in a while. We'd spend time together, and I'd get that. And now that I think about it, was
Barbara and Linda.
She influenced me.
Barbara and Linda were friends.
Your friend.
No, that's not true. They became friendly.
They became friendly. But Barbara,
I was raised by
Barbara,
but this is a complicated part, which is what this is part of the actual value that I bring, because you have to experience it like this to even understand humans at this level, I believe. I was raised by a whole village. I mean, we lived in the basement for the first 7 years of my aunt and uncle's house, and they were such successful entrepreneurs and amazing examples and stewards and role models. And I spent so much wonderful time with them. And then my other aunts and uncles, they all taught me things that influenced me and helped me become the man I am today. And Barbara taught me independence. She's never quit. She's never given up. She's taught me grit. She taught me hard work. She taught me to tell the truth, speak your mind. She didn't say this to me. She just has lived that, at 86, doing things in her way. Lance, how she saw what was right, and she loved me and has given me everything that she possibly can. Now, that being said, having vivid memories of my biological mother and being, very aware and young, and that creates, a broader, let's say, lens of looking at things. So, and by no means would I ever, and we have a very good, great relationship, me and Barbara. Disrespect. She was always very positive and constructive around my biological mother, said great things about her and how smart and brilliant she was and how awesome she was. And so I had a very positive, mom, your mommy, Linda, it was very positive. So, hey, like you said, in the spirit of this is what the value of divergent thinkers are, different people that have different lived experiences and walks of life. It can, so it was complex would.
You read a lot of books.
Yeah. A lot.
You
Yeah.
read a lot of
A lot of
books.
time spent reading. Yeah. And listening.
Reading.
Yeah.
What makes you read so much? Because you read more than probably anyone I know. Like you're just constantly reading. I'll FaceTime you on a Saturday. You'll FaceTime me. And you'll be sitting there out back with a bunch of books. And I'm like, this fucking guy's bananas. Saturday at the pool right there. He's in Florida. I'm like, but I dig it, man. I'm down with it. I seems already dig it. Joe Dirt, baby.
It calms me down. At an early age, I had a great example of Barbara and my Uncle Robert. They always had books around them and they would talk about books and they had, that library's in there. And you know what? I think if I'm going to analyze myself, I think looking for the answers, looking for the answers so that I can
Answers to what though? What do you mean? It seems like you're always.
I was always philosophical.
I know you are.
I took one of those personality tests. I'm at the highest percentile for philosophical. Like if you're not into philosophy, I might not be your cup of tea.
What's your IQ again?
I have no idea. I think I'm an idiot.
No, but what's your IQ again? We had this conversation. What was the other guy?
Yeah, you said it.
I think I said I was a 70, right? I said it's a 70. You're like, no, that's borderline. I think I'm a 70.
Hey, I think, you know what? At the end of the day, the question is, can you relate to everyone? And I think you show a good example of that, whether they're and that has made you so successful. Wherever someone's at, their walk of life, where they come from, their ability to grasp concepts, whatever, you're going to show up and be there for them. So
I never understood why people think they're better than people. We're all going out of here on
maybe resentment, suffering.
No, this is the thing. We're all going out of here on a steel plate. Every one of us are going out on a steel plate. And when you understand that, life becomes so simple. I just told my wife, I'm going to be 52 this year. I got statistically 25 more years of life. Average white male lives to 77. Those last 10 years, they're normally miserable, meaning you're going to fight Alzheimer's, you're going to fight dementia, whatever hits you in those later years. That gives me 15 years of a good life left. I'll be fucking damned if I'm going to treat people bad, if I'm going to think I'm better than someone, if I'm going to be someone that I'm not. I'm going to enjoy my life. And I think everyone worries about what other people think instead of just being themselves. Even in high school, I look back, I never wanted to be accepted by the cool crowd. Even though I was friends with them, I hung out with Mike Ortman and Seth Dunn. I know everybody, God damn, we're the cool crowd. No, we weren't the cool crowd. We were friendly with them, but you were my two best friends and we rolled together everywhere. Even after that, even now with some of these cliques I see around the country and people want to be cliques, I'm friends with everyone, but I keep very to myself. And if you can do that, you're going to be pretty successful and just be nice to everyone. It doesn't matter if you're the janitor, if you're serving me lunch, I actually have a lot more respect for a lot of those people that do those jobs, because I did those jobs where a lot of these people were born on second and third base. It's funny. I meet people and they're like, yeah, my dad had this company, I'm taking it over, I did this. And I'm like, you were born on second or third base, fucktard. You should be successful. My kids should be successful. All my kids, I'll say it to any one of my kids, you should be successful. You're going to private school, tutors, education, the best coaches, and I'm going to leave you a shit ton of money. You should be successful. You read that, JJ?
It's an interesting paradox where that it ends up
normal. What's paradox?
What ends up happening is you would think that if you're coming into it, but what ends up happening is those in that position struggle with their own vision. It's like there's a big tree and they're in a shadow. You can't see your vision. Part of building your identity is seeing a vision of the future. So that second is in they can't see the sun. And the sun is the vision. The tree. So that what happens is they start to actually invert in the absence of mentors. I'll give you an example. This is why King Philip II hired Socrates, who was 40 years older than Alexander the Great. He was 52. It's cool. And Alexander the Great was 12. So he hired him to be the coach, the teacher of Alexander the Great. Before he was great, he was just Alexander, King Philip's son. King Philip united the various tribes, the disparate tribes, developed technology, developed processes and systems and trained them and led by example. It took him 2 decades. And he was coming from a lineage, and he had that to be born Alexander, the son of King Philip, where your mother is actually like you're a half-breed because your mother was from Albania, which wasn't existing then, but it was basically Albania. So like he was never fully accepted, which actually was an advantage for him in the end. But he got training from a teacher and a steward of culture and values and thinking and so on. And so in the absence of that, when the kids, the generation twos, in the absence of that, what ends up happening statistically is they ultimately lack the pain and suffering that people like me and you and many of the founders have suffered. They lack it because they had so much damn love and belonging and all the things that the founders want to give them, which they should. It's good parents. So basically,
they don't have the grit.
Yeah, it makes them, it destroys them inside out. So the way to solve to that is a great episode in the Culture Matters podcast, episode 985. Jean Meeks Koch, she's a fellow of the Family Firm Institute. It's an international society of family advice.
Do you know every episode?
I know many of them because it's my culture that I've constructed over 12 years of practice, but it's been live for 6 years and it means something to me. So that's why I know a lot of the episodes.
So I got to get,
but you want to hire somebody like Gene to help you with your family advisory if you're listening to this.
So I want to wrap this up.
Oh yeah, I got to go to a dinner.
We're going to.
I could talk to you all day.
I know
it's great. It's a lot of fun.
You guys are gonna have a baby. When are you gonna have a baby, Jenny?
Jenny.
Jenny from the block.
Yeah.
Jenny from the block.
So I think that question is not like ready to be answered, honestly. We're not sure yet. We have goals that we want to hit.
All right, let's put the baby on hold then.
Yeah.
I really admire you asking that. It's very kind of you to press.
Because I believe in family.
Yes.
I believe in family. Like I think kids are the most beautiful thing in the world. I think everyone should have kids. I can't wait to have grandchildren. That's the truth. Like that's just wow. So what's next for you guys? What's the goals you guys want for business? Because I don't imagine you're going to take Culture Matters to 100-person consulting company, or am I wrong? Because you guys like to keep, because you could have already been doing that, because I know I've seen me crossroads.
I'm a tomorrow goal type of girl. Jay is the longevity goal type of guy, and that's why he's the CEO, and that's why I'm the COO. So I follow him in those moments, but I can tell you plainly, and then I'll let him give you the 30,000-foot view. But plainly, I can tell you that we are developing great products. We are building a culture within our company so that we can clearly place people and things and these products in the right hands of the right companies with the right people so that they're qualified, so that they're clear, and so that they have buy-in in what they want and how they want to do it. I think a lot of people confuse the word culture as a buzzword, especially this day and age, because culture is everywhere. And really what we do is culture and business. It's not just culture advisory, it's business and culture advisory. And we want that. We're chasing a goal right now to make sure that that's clear to our potential consumer and our current consumers.
Yeah, I mean, there are people that write these books and that they're a product of their time, right? Who are the business people that people are following? What are they actually talking about? So as we continue to publish literature like 30 Days of Thought, my first book in 2019, and more of the literature that we've used to actually help small companies become bigger companies and work with companies for years and years and years. I'm talking about building a book of business that I'm truly proud of doing together as a team, our clients, because they're everything, right? Culture comes as a consequence of the clients that we serve. Maybe that's forgotten sometimes in history, but that's that. As I share more about our ideas and who I am and who we are as an organization, I believe that someone has to talk, right? Start with why. Simon Sinek was a period of time. That's my role. I'm supposed to talk about culture and why it matters and have the conversation that maybe people aren't ready to have yet because they haven't had those thoughts yet. However, the reason, for example, I was asked to interview Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, right? This is somebody who's spoken on a world stage about ideas, is because that's my future. That's my story. That's where meaning as a thought, as a thinker, as a business thinker, as a business student and teacher. So that's like the ideas interest me. all of the rest will follow, I believe. I believe all of the rest will follow as long as we do great work for our customers, who we see as clients, who we see as partners, do great work with our team, who we incentivize accordingly with recognition and pay and employment. As long as we stay humble, and this is so important, and work. I'm so sick of everybody in the culture like not wanting to do that. It's like when you sell, it's about legacy. What are you doing next? Are you just going to go give all your money to an advisor? Is what the hell they're doing? Or are you going to work, right? So that's what I get excited about. So the future is, who's talking about culture matters the way that we are? I haven't seen anybody. I've read as much as I can. I have a lot of great influences. Like I mentioned, one of them, and some of the many dead thinkers out there, right? The Simon Sinek's, the Gino Wickmans of the EOS's, the Peter Druckers, the Alan Weiss's, and I could go on and on. Who are the thought leaders, right? If I'm going to be a thought leader, I thought I should be a follower. So we've been working for a decade plus working with entrepreneurs. Now I'm kind of, this is like
you're coming out. This is your coming out part.
That's it.
He's coming out. Boom.
I like that.
Yeah. I love that song, by the way.
And what a joy to be able to do that with.
I will tell you, I got to tell you something about your husband. I'm going to let you guys go. People for years always try to get me, because people don't give a fuck about your time. I say all the time, people just want you to throw them on their calendar, and I don't throw anyone on my calendar anymore. That's why I have Joel Lisa, right? Like, and people don't realize, like, it's just, people will suck your time for nothing. And I started doing it probably about, I think I met you probably 8-10 years ago. And back then I was like, my time is just too valuable. I'm just not wasting it anymore. So I always invite people to see if they're serious to work out in the morning. Because you can't get a better time to talk to someone than when you're alone in a gym, right? In my opinion.
I remember.
You remember this?
That day we went to your house to work out.
So Jay I said, Jay, meet me at my house at 6 o'clock in the morning. You remember?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
And this dude showed right up and got on the treadmill right next to me. And that's what built our friendship. That's where the friendship really started.
There?
A different, no, that was a different.
Every time he came back. The first time. Yeah, he's like, the first time I met him, like really spent time with him, was I said, Jay, you know what? You want time? Be at my house. I'm going to work out at 6 in the morning. He was there, 6 o'clock at my front door, working out with me. And I don't think people understand that. When you get your window of opportunity, fucking take it.
Amen. Yeah.
Take it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, take it.
He was excited.
I think that comes down to
excited because I enjoyed it. When he showed up, I was like, all right, this is great. I got someone to work out with today.
Real deal.
This is who I have always been. And it's a joy to be able to have a life and build a life and provide for clients and provide employment from doing my calling. So it's like, yeah, of course I'm going to be there. So.
Thank you for being on the podcast. I appreciate it. Yes. How do we get a hold of you, Jay?
Oh, please subscribe to the Culture Matters podcast. Today we're releasing, episode 1000 will be out tomorrow on
no, I'm going to give you 3 flaps. Let's do it. Nearly 2 flaps.
Yeah, you know. I'm sorry. The day after tomorrow, $9.99. Guillermo's. So yeah, Guillermo's tomorrow. So the Culture Matters podcast. Yep. And then J Doran _ the Culture Man on Instagram. Follow me there and send me a message that you listen to this, and I will gladly communicate with you. Yeah. Yeah. And YouTube is my name, JAYDORAN.
Well, I'm somebody wants to hire you. What's your cell number?
267-885-6418. Shoot me a text. Yeah, I would love.
Someone's going to want to bring you in and talk to you about their culture. Because there's some companies I walk into that have very shitty culture. I can see it right away.
And even if they have a great one they want to make even better, the point is to have people that you can trust that actually care and are passionate, going to put it all on the field. And one thing I've learned from a mentor, Brad, for sure. Yes, we've served him, but he's definitely a mentor. He always pushed me, be more open, go on these shows, put yourself out there. The Real Brian Hess, the same thing. Alan Weiss said, help everybody. Because mistakenly, I was overly fixated on just like what's right in front of me. Everybody can be helped.
I would also say if anybody has a stage that
I should speak more, yeah.
Culture or on business philosophy, that Jay is available.
Yeah, I would create something. I never gave the same speech twice, so they're always unique. and they're always they're relevant to the audience to increase the likelihood of success of them taking action and enjoying, because it's all about the client experience. So how I approach speeches, I can never give the same exact one, although there might be a thread line. It's going to be a different way to approach it and something they've never experienced before, because that's my personality. I get bored too easily. So I would love the opportunity to speak if it's on culture, leadership, at whatever level that anybody would want me to do it. I must do more of that, or else I'm letting her down and everyone else and our clients and everybody. So
Well, I appreciate you giving back so much. Appreciate you coming in both years. And it was a pleasure getting to know you also.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is my first podcast.
Thank you, Jay. There you go.
Thank you.
Great.